What if I told you that one of the most powerful men in the entertainment industry, a billionaire who built an empire, is about to lose everything? And it's not just a financial crisis, this is a crash that will change the way we see power in Hollywood forever. Let me break this down slowly so that it truly resonates. Recently, 50 Cent made a startling revelation. An insider from the upper echelons of power told him Diddy is about to lose everything. Now, when 50 Cent speaks, we have to take it seriously. This isn't just a casual observation or a guess. This isn't idle gossip or hearsay making its rounds through the rumor mill. No, 50 Cent is a man who's been around long enough to recognize the signs when things are about to implode. He's not speaking in vague terms or making baseless predictions. He's speaking with the kind of authority that comes from seeing the end credits of a story before anyone else does. It's like watching the final act of a movie unfold in real time, knowing exactly how the plot will end. And trust me, this isn't some frivolous online chatter. What we're witnessing isn't just a celebrity scandal or a passing headline. This is something far more significant. What we're dealing with here are lawsuits, serious, ongoing legal battles that will determine the future of one of the most influential figures in the entertainment world. We're talking about receipts, hard evidence that can't be ignored, that can unravel years of power plays and business deals. The kind of proof that brings down the mightiest of empires. This isn't just a story of a billionaire facing a few rough patches in his financial portfolio. This is the unraveling of an empire that once seemed untouchable. A man who built a brand around control, influence, and image, now watching that brand bleed out in public view. Diddy's world, once carefully constructed and polished, is crumbling under the weight of mounting legal and financial troubles. His influence is starting to wane, his power is slipping, and his reputation, once rock solid, is now under intense scrutiny. And it's all playing out in real time for the world to see. The real question we should be asking isn't whether Diddy is in trouble. That's already painfully clear. The real question, is this the collapse that everyone's been quietly waiting for? Let's be honest. If this was coming from some random YouTuber or an obscure figure on the internet, most of us would shrug it off and move on. But this isn't just some anonymous voice making wild claims. This is 50 Cent we're talking about. The same 50 Cent who years ago predicted Diddy's downfall with chilling accuracy. Same man who has no fear of lawsuits, no hesitations when it comes to speaking his mind, and absolutely no interest in making noise unless he senses something much bigger in the works. Like most, 50 Cent doesn't bark for attention. He isn't the type to stir up drama just to stay relevant. No, he's far more calculated than that. He waits, he observes. And when the moment comes when the stakes are highest and the game is on the line, he strikes, dropping bombs that nobody can ignore. His words aren't thrown around carelessly. They're always deliberate, precise, and backed by years of experience in this unforgiving game, and that's what makes his warning so compelling. He's not just making noise for the sake of it. He's telling us that Diddy's empire is on the verge of unraveling, and from where 50 stands, it looks like he's already seen this ending play out. This is a man who doesn't talk unless he knows exactly what's at stake. And right now, it feels like the end is closer than anyone anticipated. And right now, 50 Cent has been uncharacteristically vocal about Diddy's financial troubles, not his image. That's a major clue, and it's not something to overlook. Why is this so significant? Because an image that can be recovered. People can bounce back from bad press, from controversy, or from public backlash. With the right PR moves and a few well-timed distractions, you can repair your image, no matter how tarnished it becomes. But financial issues, that's where the real danger lies. When money starts slipping through your fingers, that's when empires begin to crumble and fall apart. The cracks start appearing in places where no amount of charm, fame, or influence can patch them up. Once the financial foundation begins to shake, everything built on top of it starts to crumble too. Business deals dry up, brand partnerships evaporate, and the very institutions that once supported your empire begin to pull away. And at that point, no amount of shiny distractions or well-crafted public statements can save you. That's why 50 is zeroing in on Diddy's financial struggles, because that's the heart of the problem. When the money goes, so does everything else. Some might be confused about what 50 Cent means when he says Diddy is going to lose everything. It's not just about the money sitting in his bank accounts, alt. Oh, that's certainly part of it. What 50 is really talking about goes much deeper. It's about business deals slowly drying up, brand partnerships silently backing away, and lawyers getting their payments before anyone else, prioritizing their own interests while Diddy's empire begins to crumble. It's about assets being quietly sold off just to keep things running as the financial pressure mounts. This isn't some baseless rumor or an overblown claim. This is the reality of how things operate when you're in the midst of a financial crisis, especially when lawsuits start stacking up. Diddy isn't just dealing with a single issue. He's up against a multitude of problems, multiple lawsuits, public scrutiny, corporate panic, and an entire industry that seems to have forgotten his number. His once ironclad network of connections is disintegrating, and that's the real danger here. When a man like Diddy, someone who once held the keys to the kingdom, finds himself in a situation where no one's answering his calls, where the people who once depended on him are now turning their backs, it signals something far more ominous. It's not just financial trouble at that point, it's the beginning of the end. And when the calls stop coming, it's a clear sign that the empire he built is on the verge of collapse. If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. That's a chilling omen for anyone, and it's a signal that things are about to spiral out of control. Let me break this down for you in simpler terms. Poor people, they go broke quickly. It's a fast crash with everything falling apart almost overnight. But when rich people go broke, it's a long, slow descent. It's painful, humiliating, and often far more embarrassing. When you're wealthy, your money is tied up in investments, properties, and assets. Your lifestyle costs millions each year, and as soon as that wealth starts to dwindle, everyone comes rushing in to claim what's theirs. Private jets, sprawling mansions, a team of staff, security, legal fees, these things don't stop. The meter keeps running relentlessly like a cab ride with a shady driver who never turns the meter off. And here's the thing, the bigger you get, the harder you fall. When you're living at that level of wealth and luxury, you're not just maintaining a house or a car, you're maintaining a complex empire. The pressure to keep it all running doesn't let up, and once things start slipping away, it's almost impossible to recover. The fall is always far steeper than anyone can imagine, and trying to climb back up after it all unravels, that's the real challenge. When the money starts running out, so does the power, and everything built on that foundation comes crashing down around you. So when 50 Cent says Diddy won't bounce back, what he's really conveying is that this crisis is far bigger than Diddy's resources. It's something so monumental, so all-encompassing that he simply can't spin his way out of it. The usual tactics, his charm, his influence, the power of his name, none of that can save him now. This situation has him shaken, and he knows it. Here's something that isn't being talked about enough. Where are all the people who used to defend Diddy? Where are the celebrities who once flocked to his side, speaking out in his defense, offering their support? Where are the public declarations of loyalty? That's my brother, statements we used to hear from figures like DJ Khaled. The answer is simple: silence, and that silence, it's deafening. In the entertainment world, silence isn't a sign of neutrality, it's a sign of distancing. People are quietly backing away, not because they don't care, but because they know better than to align themselves with a sinking ship. The loyalty that once seemed unshakable is now non-existent, and that silence speaks volumes. It's the kind of silence that signals something much worse is coming. It's survival, not support. And that's exactly what 50 Cent is pointing out. And in Hollywood, silence is never a good sign. Silence isn't just an absence of words, it's a powerful statement in itself. When the chatter stops and the voices that once defended someone fall quiet, it's a sign that people are deliberately stepping back, weighing their options, and prioritizing their own survival over loyalty. In a world where alliances are everything, silence is often the loudest signal you can send. It means that the people who once stood by you, who were once shouting your praises, are now choosing to distance themselves. They're seeing the writing on the wall, and they're choosing self-preservation over the risk of being caught in the fallout. And make no mistake, 50 Cent, above all people, knows this game inside and out. He's been through it all. He's seen empires rise and fall, watched the most powerful figures crumble under the weight of their own actions. He's seen the dynamics at play, and he knows how the story ends. 50 isn't just talking for the sake of making noise. Everything he does, every post he shares, every comment, every sarcastic joke he drops is part of a more calculated strategy. He's not speaking to hear himself talk. He's positioning himself in a way that ensures when the dust settles, he'll be standing on the right side of history. He's sending a message to networks, investors, and the public at large: I'm on the right side of this story. I'm aligned with the truth. 50 knows how to play the long game. He understands the importance of timing and the power of being seen as someone who saw the truth before anyone else. And the worst part for Diddy, 50 doesn't need to do anything extra to stay relevant. He doesn't have to create controversy or drum up attention. He doesn't need to scream for recognition. All he has to do is point at the truth. And when the spotlight is on someone long enough, that truth can't help but be revealed. Once the public begins to focus on someone for long enough, they start to look closely, examining every detail, every action, every mistake. And when people start looking closely, that's when the cracks appear. That's when the carefully constructed image starts to crumble. It's not just about what people see, it's about what they start to realize. And in the case of Diddy, the longer the spotlight is on him, the more people will see, the more they'll question, and the more they'll recognize the flaws they once overlooked or chose to ignore. It's only a matter of time before the truth comes out, and when it does, 50 will be there, having already made his move. He'll be standing firmly on the side of those who knew what was coming all along. Diddy is no stranger to controversy. Over the years, he's weathered many storms, some big, some small, but this time it's different. This isn't just another headline that can be brushed aside or spun into a PR victory. There's no new album released to distract the masses, no flashy new projects to keep the spotlight on his brand, and no industry shield to protect him from the fallout. This time, it's all about the courtrooms, the lawyers, and the hard, uncomfortable questions that can't be avoided. And the thing about lawsuits is that they don't care about legacy. They don't care about the decades of hit songs, the chart-topping albums, or the glittering awards that line your walls. They don't care about the vibe you've built or the loyal fan base that follows you from project to project. What lawsuits care about are facts, cold, hard evidence. They care about patterns, documented behavior, and the undeniable financial realities that are about to hit with full force. They care about the massive payouts that are coming down the pipeline, the kind that will leave a lasting impact on a brand, a career, and a fortune. And this is exactly why 50 Cent is so confident. He's not betting on rumors, hearsay, or wishful thinking. He's betting on facts, the kind of facts that Diddy can't escape. 50's seen the writing on the wall, and he knows what happens when these legal battles get serious. He's not speculating on what might happen. He's already seen the patterns unfold, and he's betting that the truth, once fully exposed, will be far more damaging than anyone anticipates. 50 doesn't need to make wild claims. The facts alone are enough to make him confident in his prediction. Here's the part that fans just don't seem to grasp. Even if Diddy somehow manages to win a few of these cases, the damage has already been done. The problem isn't just about the lawsuits themselves, it's about the much larger, far-reaching consequences that come with them. Once your name becomes synonymous with controversy, once your reputation is forever linked to these legal battles, the effects spread far beyond the courtroom. Brands won't wait around for verdicts. They don't have that luxury. The moment a person's name is tied to so much turmoil, potential investors start to view them as a risky bet. And in a world where businesses rely on stability and public perception, risk isn't something anyone is willing to gamble with. Controversy, as it turns out, makes everything from brand deals to partnerships much more expensive. And the more money Diddy has to pour into legal fees, the less he has to invest in rebuilding his empire, getting new deals, or even stabilizing the foundation he once built. This is how someone loses everything, not with a grand, explosive crash, but with a slow, painful simmer. It's not going to happen in one dramatic moment. It's going to unfold gradually, like a slow bleed that Diddy won't be able to stop no matter how hard he tries. The money, the power, the influence, little by little it will slip through his fingers. Each day, each setback, each new legal battle will take a toll, and before he knows it, he'll find himself in a place where recovery seems impossible. The worst part, by the time he realizes it, it will be too late to reverse the damage. So why isn't 50 Cent scared of what's happening to Diddy? It's simple, because 50 has already been through it all. He survived being shot 9 times, blackballed by the very industry he helped build, faced bankruptcy, and weathered lawsuits that could have torn anyone else apart. 50 has felt the weight of the world crashing down on him and managed to rise from it. He knows exactly what Diddy is facing, and compared to everything he's already overcome, this situation is light work. This is just another challenge in a long line of obstacles he's already conquered. That confidence, it's not arrogance, it's the kind of confidence that only comes from experience. 50 doesn't fear the inevitable because he's been to hell and back. He understands the game better than most, and he knows exactly how to play it. So is Diddy guaranteed to lose everything? The answer is yes. It's not even a matter of if, but when. And here's the harsh truth that no one wants to admit. Even if Diddy somehow avoids jail time or some miraculous turn of events clears his name in court, he will still lose everything. His influence, it's going to die. The very essence of what made Diddy a powerful figure in the industry will fade into irrelevance. His business deals, they're going to vanish one by one, and his reputation. That's going to remain toxic and unstable, a shadow of the man he once was. And that's the real kicker, the ultimate truth that 50 Cent understands and Diddy is about to face. Money without power is nothing but numbers on a page. It's just paper easily wiped away, and 50 knows that. He's seen it before, watched others fall from grace, their fortunes evaporating, their power slipping away. He's been there, and now it's Diddy's turn. This isn't just another fleeting headline that'll disappear after a week. This is the start of something far more long-lasting, years of court dates, endless legal filings, and more people stepping forward, adding fuel to the fire. The snowball has already begun rolling downhill, gaining momentum with each passing day, and it's only a matter of time before it reaches the bottom. The damage is piling up, and there's no stopping it now once that snowballs start. TS picking up speed, it becomes impossible to halt. No PR team, no clever spin, no distraction is going to be enough to turn it around. The public's focus will intensify, and every new revelation, every new witness, every new legal battle will just add more weight to the avalanche that's already in motion. And here's the most sobering reality of all. Even Diddy's kids, those who were raised under his protective wing, shielded from the harsh realities of life, will now have to face the real world. The cushy existence they've known, surrounded by wealth and privilege, is no longer guaranteed. They'll have to step outside the bubble and find real jobs just like anyone else. This isn't just about Diddy losing his empire, it's about the ripple effect it will have on everyone around him, including those who once had everything handed to them. That's why 50 Cent is watching so closely. That's why he's speaking out now. And that's why so many people are starting to get nervous about what's coming next. When 50 says that Diddy is about to lose everything, he's not simply throwing out a dramatic statement or making idle threats. He's not trying to stir the pot for attention or create buzz. No, 50 Cent is predicting what's coming, and it's a prediction backed by years of experience and observation. He's been through the kind of battles Diddy is facing, and he knows how they unfold. And if there's one thing that's certain, it's that 50's predictions tend to age remarkably well. He's seen this pattern before, and the signs are all pointing in one direction. This isn't just a momentary crisis, it's the beginning of the end. But here's the deeper truth people are missing. This isn't only about Diddy losing money. While the loss of wealth is certainly a big deal, it's not the only thing at stake here. Money, it can always be earned back. Diddy could take a hit financially, but the money can be replenished. There are always new ways to generate revenue, new deals to be made, and new ventures to invest in. People who have built empires like Diddy have been knocked down financially before and managed to come back stronger. What Diddy is truly losing, what's being stripped away from him right now, is something far more valuable than money: his power, his influence, his ability to command respect and fear. These things are irreplaceable. Once power begins to slip away, it's not as easy as throwing money at the problem and fixing it. Power is a delicate thing. It's built on trust, relationships, and influence, and once it begins to erode, there's no easy way to restore it. People can't just buy their way back into the inner circle once they've been cast out. Respect, that's another thing that once lost can't just be bought back. Diddy has spent decades cultivating respect, not just within the music industry, but across the world. He's been a titan of culture, a man whose name was synonymous with success and power. But once that respect fades, it's incredibly hard to regain. People will look at him differently. They'll see him as someone who was once untouchable but is now vulnerable, and in a world where perception is everything, that's a dangerous shift. And then there's silence. Silence is a powerful tool in the game of power. It's the weapon of those who control the narrative. It's the silence of influence, the quiet weight of untold power. But once that silence is broken, once people start speaking out, once the truth starts leaking into the open, silence becomes a void that can't be filled. And right now, Diddy is losing that silence. His one strong position where he could command the room with just his presence is slipping away. People who used to be terrified of crossing him are now speaking freely, and that's something that can't be undone. Once these things, power, respect, and silence, start to disappear, they're gone for good. You can't buy your way back into them, no matter how much money you have. Once the fear of Diddy is gone, once the respect he once commanded fades, and once the silence around him is replaced by voices of dissent, he'll find himself in an entirely new position. Position where his influence is no longer absolute, where his reputation is no longer a shield, and where his empire starts to crumble under the weight of public opinion and legal consequences. And that's the real kicker, the harsh reality that 50 Cent understands better than anyone. Power isn't just about money. It's about influence, it's about control, and it's about the fear that comes with holding all the cards. Once those things slip through your fingers, they're almost impossible to get back. And when that happens, everything you've worked for starts to fall apart. Diddy's entire career has been built on control. Control over artists, control over narratives, control over who gets paid and who gets buried. For years, he's been the puppet master pulling the strings behind the scenes, shaping the story and dictating who rises and who falls in the industry. But here's the cold reality. Lawsuits don't care about your legacy. Discovery doesn't care about the catalog of hits you've produced. In courtrooms, they sure as hell don't care about nostalgia or the golden years of your career. In the eyes of the law, it's not about how many platinum records you've sold or how many people admire your hustle. It's about evidence, facts, and accountability. Every lawsuit that gets filed, every detail that leaks to the press, slowly chips away at the carefully constructed illusion of invincibility Diddy has spent decades building. Each revelation cracks the facade just a little more, and with every crack, the truth starts to slip through. As former associates step forward, as more stories emerge from behind the scenes, the reality becomes undeniable. The fear that once surrounded Diddy is gone, and once that fear is gone, once people stop being afraid of the man who once held so much power, the dominoes begin to fall fast and hard. What was once an unshakable empire starts to crumble piece by piece. Look at what's happening right now. Brands once eager to be associated with him are now distancing themselves. Business partners who once saw Diddy as a pillar of the industry are suddenly going silent. The same people who used to step forward to defend him or stand by his side, now they've got no comment. Silence. That's not loyalty, that's survival. People are no longer standing by Diddy out of respect. They're pulling away because they see the storm coming and they want no part of it. In the face of potential fallout, they're doing what anyone in a precarious situation would do. They're looking out for themselves. And in the cutthroat world of entertainment, survival is the only thing that matters when the walls start closing in. Even if Diddy never steps foot in a jail cell, the financial bleed could be the thing that ultimately finishes him off. The legal fees. They'll keep piling up one bill after another with no end in sight. Settlements, once minor afterthoughts, will start to loom larger and larger, devouring whatever resources he has left. Insurance companies, once reliable partners, are already backing out, realizing that their investment in Diddy is now too risky. His assets, everything from real estate to luxury items, are being quietly sold off or removed, carefully hidden before anyone else can get their hands on them. This is how empires die, not with the dramatic sound of sirens, not with a catastrophic fiery crash, but with the quiet, insidious erosion of paperwork. It's the slow burn, the gradual depletion, the mounting weight of legal battles and dwindling resources. Every piece of paper that crosses his desk, every legal filing, every court date is another nail in the coffin of what was once a powerful dynasty. And this isn't some random, sudden fall from grace. This isn't just a bad year or a rough patch in a long career. No, this is the culmination of years, decades, really, of Diddy's actions finally catching up with him. The way he's treated people, manipulated situations, and built his empire on shaky foundations, all of it is coming to a head now. And it's happening at a time when the world has changed. We're no longer living in an era where powerful men like Diddy can hide behind their wealth, their influence, or their PR teams. In the past, a scandal or controversy might have been swept under the rug or ignored. But now in today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, there's nowhere to hide. The public's gaze is sharper, the scrutiny is relentless, and the consequences, they're far more severe. Social media has completely reshaped the landscape. In the past, PR teams had the luxury of time. They could strategize, control narratives, and shape the public's perception of their clients. There was a system in place: media outlets, gossip columns, carefully curated press releases. But in today's world, public opinion moves faster than any PR team could ever keep up with. The power of social media has made everyone a commentator, everyone a critic, and once the public decides you're toxic, it's over. It doesn't matter how many PR statements you issue or how much you try to spin the narrative. When the tide turns, the fallout is swift and unforgiving. Corporations, business partners, and investors no longer wait for the dust to settle. They move quickly and they move collectively. The new rule is simple: get in line with public sentiment or get left behind. So when people ask, what is Diddy bouncing back to? And that's the question that's likely going to be asked more and more. Here's the more important question you should be asking in return. What's left for him to bounce back to? The brands that once associated with him, they're gone. The respect he once had from his peers and colleagues, that's evaporated. The ability to silence critics, intimidate others, and control the narrative, that power is finished. It's not something you can rebuild once it's lost. In the past, Diddy was a titan, a force in the music and entertainment world. But once that reputation is tainted and the systems that supported his empire begin to fall apart, the ground beneath him starts to crumble. And that's when things start to unravel. You can survive a scandal, that's not new. Many people have survived public humiliation, legal battles, and controversies. But here's the difference: you cannot survive being exposed and rendered irrelevant. That's the fatal blow, the moment when you're no longer viewed as someone to be feared or respected, but as someone who is no longer needed, someone who has been exposed for who they really are. And that's where Diddy is heading. This isn't about hate, it isn't about gossip or drama. This is the unavoidable cost of unchecked power. When you build an empire without considering the consequences of your actions, there will come a moment when those actions come home to roost. And Diddy's moment is here. The price for years of manipulating narratives, controlling outcomes, and intimidating others is finally catching up with him. And that's the harsh reality he now faces. Whether you like Diddy or not, this moment sends a powerful, undeniable message to the entire industry. The era of being untouchable is over. That level of protection, that privilege, that ability to remain above it all, it's gone. There's no more hiding behind wealth, no more hiding behind fame, no more hiding behind the illusion that power can last forever, no matter what you do to sustain it. In today's world, where the public's opinion is the true currency, no one is untouchable. The truth always comes to light, and when it does, it doesn't care about how much money you have or how many hits you've made. It doesn't care about your legacy. It doesn't care about how many people you've influenced or how many friends you think you have. The truth is impartial, it doesn't take sides, and it doesn't wait for your comeback. It just is, and once that truth is exposed, there's no turning back. Diddy has built his empire on the ability to control narratives and manipulate the game. But what happens when the truth becomes the narrative? What happens when the public sees beyond the polished image, beyond the carefully crafted public persona, and sees what's really happening? If the walls are closing in on Diddy, it's because they're closing in for a reason. And this is just the beginning of the end for him. This won't be because of one lawsuit, one bad business deal, or one fall from grace. It will be the culmination of years of behavior catching up with him, a slow burn that can't be stopped. The truth has finally caught up with Diddy, it always does. And no matter how much money, power, or influence you have, the truth is something you can never outrun. So what do you think? Is Diddy really on the verge of losing everything? Can he bounce back, or is this the beginning of the end? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you think the empire is already falling, and subscribe for more updates as the story unfolds. This is far from over, so stay tuned. The truth always comes out, and we'll be here to watch it all unravel. And don't forget to share this video with someone who needs to hear it. If you want to stay ahead of the story, click the bell for notifications and join the conversation.